Yalla.
Hey, hear ye. We are so back. Full strength team, which means we've either had a 40-point win or we've lost, or we've got nothing better to do on a Tuesday night. It's one of them. I'll let you guys work out what it is. But it is the 24th of the 6th, 2025. We are season 13 of the rebuild, and we are back for election table. I am your host, Pommyinoz. I am going to bring the vibes, and I've got loads of special surprises for you all this week. We're going to really get to the bottom of it. Big lad Cracker, g'day. I've got Damo, the legend. I've got Matt Lang, Icon, Caden, Kiora, Big Paul. And as always, I need some selectors to go with my studio audience. And first, the happiest man maybe in the world. If there is perfection on this planet, I reckon Ian's mindset might be it. I've got the great man, Ian Brownie, navy blue corner, my friend and yours. He's going to bring the positivity. Ian, how are you?
Oh, Pommy, I'm good, but I don't know if I'm bringing too much positivity this week. I mean, sometimes looking at the teams, you're struggling with a few sort of, does this guy come in? Does this guy come out? I think this is the week I was just struggling to put anyone who played on the weekend back into the lineup. It was a very rough one, but no, happy to be here as always.
Yeah, I've got to say, I put some players in my 23 and I dry retched.
I keep looking at mine and I'm wanting to make more changes the more I look at the team. So there might be some off-the-cuff changes.
I love it. And then joining us, he's had a couple of weeks sabbatical because, unlike the rest of us, he has a real job to do. The proud sponsor of the show, a man with an ever-changing background. If only Michael Voss changed the team as much as this great man changes his background. But unlike Michael Voss, he is a man of principle and success. My friend and yours, Nick Osbor, Horizon Finance. How are you, sir?
G'day, Pommy. G'day, boys. G'day, chat. Good to be back. It's been a bit of an awful weekend. I've been working hard, but I did get to see that the most amount of touches at the MCG on the weekend was Ian Brownie with his beers. Well done, Brownie. If it wasn't for your company, mate, I would have been absolutely bored shitless and angry. I did fire off a few rockets at the corporate team and the powers that be. Sorry if I went too far, boys, but I fucking meant every word of it. So get your heads in the game, Carlton. Get your heads in the game. It's too far gone in the season now, so let's get real.
I did hear that Ian Brownie had a 2 Brownlow vote nomination for the amount of beers he shot in the members' lounge.
It was getting close to Fev Brownlow night, I reckon, by that last quarter.
Yeah, yep, he was smashing me with the record, going pressure point.
do you remember the 2018 season? Well, obviously you do, but that was the first BNF I ever attended, and I never forget Mark Legudichet did this, and because the beers are free at the BNF. If you haven't been, you get I didn't realize this. It was the first time, and there was just this lovely lady who kept taking the bucket of beers away from me and giving me more, and I'm like, oh my god, this is bottomless. Right?
Yeah, so
good. I was absolutely rat-arsed, right, when he did that. And honestly, everything within me had to stop myself from just standing up and going, you're a fraud! We won 2 games! I had to really hold myself in. So I feel you, Ian, when you get free drinks mixed with...
I'm only kidding, mate. He was well behaved. It was fucking awesome to meet him and his family. We had a great time.
I've heard rumors he was topless. He was topless. And
he was swinging his shirt around his head.
he was like, I'll show you a hardball get. Love it. And to bring the tone from something pseudo-sexual to a man that is incredibly sensual, not only does his delicate little fingers paint models, but it also makes his beautiful fiancée smile. It makes me happy when he texts me but he also is a super coach genius, and he's wearing an hoodie. My friend, your friend, the great Lekdog. How are you, mate?
I'm well. I don't ever get to see the smiles, but I know that I bring them.
Good.
Mate, I'm well. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. I've sacked half the team. I haven't just cut them from this week. I've cut them from the list. It's good. I'm excited. It's been great going to work and have every fuckhead in the office come and talk to me about Carlton. It's really sick, and I love it.
Is that the worst thing in the world, that no one ever talks to you about Carlton unless they're a Carlton fan, but every fan wants to ask your opinion who doesn't support Carlton when they know you've lost?
Yeah, when we're losing. Yeah.
Bring us joy
What
to
is
their
that? Like,
hearts.
I've had texts from mates who were just randomly, I haven't spoke to me for 2 weeks, gone, "Hey, Pom, hope you're doing well." Oh, God, tough result this weekend, eh? What?
I get it if an Essendon fan comes and gives me shit because, like, I've spent 20 years doing that on the internet. That's fine. But if you're like a fucking, I don't know, Western Bulldog fan, why are you talking to me? Go away.
Yeah, mate, I feel you. And the last gentleman to join me, a man that is the only person in the media in 2025 I would not egg. A man that not only is concise with his writing, with his research, but he's also articulate in the oration of life. The newest member of our team, but perhaps our favourite, Mr. Jono Baruch Gardner Stand. How are you, mate?
G'day, Pom. G'day, boys. I'm happy to be here with you guys. Bit of a long day. I've come from work to the gym and then come home, and I was absolutely buggered. And then little brother was getting into me and was like, it would make you feel better going to talk about these fuckheads for an hour. So, but hey, you know what? There's no one I'd rather talk about these fuckheads than the four gentlemen joining me on screen here. So, happy to be here. I've had a similar experience to you this week. Lekdog, with people just going up to you in the office and going like, "Oh, like, what's going to happen with Carlton?" And I write sports content for a living now, and someone comes up to me and goes like, "So, are you going to write a piece about who your next coach is going to be?" And I'm like, maybe. They might ask me to do that. So, yeah, interesting times. And somehow we've got to pick a fucking team to go out and play again in a couple of nights.
You know what scares me most about all of this? In 2023, mid-winning streak, my dad was still telling me, this guy can't actually coach. And maybe he's just got this infinite dad wisdom, but I just was like, what do you mean? We're winning. We're about to play finals. He's like, mate, trust me, this guy can't coach. Anyway, he was right.
Well done, Mr. Lekdog Senior. I wish you could have given us all the memo. That would have been nice. No, I mean, you know what I commend
Can
Jono the
Mr. Lekdog
most?
Senior be on the selection committee to appoint the next one? Graham Wright, call Lekdog's dad.
Did you? Yeah, call Mr. Lekdog Senior. Yeah, you know what? Right, I've got to admire you, Jono. Right, because I don't know how you do it. Because you're in the media, obviously you can't do a me. You can't turn the camera on and just call 23 people just randomly a CUNT. Right, you can't do that. You can't go, Herald's son, Jono discusses Carlton's problems, and he just capitalizes they're all cunts. Exclamation mark. I have to commend that you managed to dance around calling them that in the most beautiful way. Like, honestly, I was reading one of your articles today, and all I got out of it, translated to Pom, is they're all fucking idiots. But you worded it so beautifully. I was so proud of you. I was like, that's the nicest way of being called incompetent I've ever heard.
Thanks a lot, Pom. It does mean a lot. Yeah, you learn something when you are training yourself up to be a journo. And unfortunately, as a journo with an affinity to this particular football team, we've had a lot of practice in trying to call people useless or not very nice ways in using nicer words. So unfortunately, we've had a lot of practice, as I've just said, to do it. But no, it was good. And the article that I put up today that you're referencing is just kind of the nice way of saying it was just like, this guy's coming in to do a job. Let him do it. Don't dress him up as, the be all and end all, and this guy's going to solve all our problems. But it's got some pretty easy decisions to make first. Thanks, Gaden. Appreciate it, mate.
Hey, look, he's great. He's our Jono. He is great. Well, I'm going to start a bit differently this week, right? I'm trying to change the world, right? And my pop used to say to me, if you want to change the world, son, start with the biggest wanker you've ever met, yourself. And then after you've sorted yourself, we start working one wanker at a time. So here we are. This is the one wanker at a time sheet, right? So what we're going to do every week is from all the selection and you chat, I want you to give me what is your one takeaway this week. And when you're going to be picking a team this week, what are you looking for? So like, for example, it could be simple, speed, ball use, could be dare and dash. Just one thing that you felt we lacked last week that you want to inject. So I'll start with you, Ian. Question without notice. What do you want to see or what do you feel like we lack when you came to pick your team? And chat, start throwing in. It can be 1 word, 100 words. I'll condense it.
Yeah, I like this. And I think I didn't really look, I'll be honest, necessarily at what could win us the game when I looked at this team. It was more, I'm depressed. How can I get some enjoyment out of what I see this Thursday night? So I just picked a bunch of guys for the ins that make me happy, that I want to actually see what they can do and what they can deliver. So honestly, it was just make Ian happy was my kind of rhetoric and motto this week in selecting the team.
So would you say that was, let's condense that. Would you say care?
Yeah, and bring back some fun.
Okay. Pride/fun. Oh, yeah. All right. Mr. Nick, what was one thing that you wanted to bring into this team? Like one thing that was lacking, that really stood out to you?
The movement. I just felt that they were too stagnant, chipping it around, staying in their spot.
Would we say movement/dare?
Yep.
Oh, hey, this is good. This feel like we're making progress. Mr. Jono, what did one thing you wanted to inject into life in this team?
Before I give you my answer, Pom, I need your word that you're going to write this down word for word as I say it.
Okay, go on.
In my best Stuart Dew voice, show a bit of fucking fight.
Show a bit of fucking fight.
None of that. None of that in the second and third quarter.
That is my favourite clip because he just randomly does it as well. Like he looks like he's quite measured. They're the best bollockings you ever get in your life when someone is really measured and then just loses it. That's when you're like, oh, okay, I better fucking do this.
100%. But I think I watched the game back because I just wanted to see. Make sure I wasn't watching a time warp there on Saturday just to really see how bad it was. And I was hardly watching the fourth quarter. I tuned out. So I really wanted to watch that as well. But that second and third quarter was, I tweeted during the game at halftime on Gunnistan that was our worst quarter for the year. And I could not lay a finger on North Melbourne. There was zero fight, zero care, zero pride. And I think that's the one thing you want to see this week. So you have a 5-day break, so you're not really going to get a chance to really train skills. It's all going to be about recovery and working out, okay, this might be how we beat Port. But the biggest thing you can do, particularly in times like this, is show a bit of fucking fight.
Amen. Amen. Lekdog.
I wrote down the word enthusiasm, and Timmy P's backing me up in the chat. So good on you. And that is the word I used when I was building my team.
Hey, Lekdog, you're good. You're good at this, right? Okay, let's test enthusiasm. I think I've done that right, haven't I?
Yep.
You're missing an S, but you're pretty close.
Hey, there you are. I'm reading this in size like 4 font, just so you know, so you can see it. So
You're
this is a
killing it,
test
bro.
with my old eyes. All right. I wanted identity. Pom, identity. There we are. That works. Right. There we are. We're back. That A level in English starting to pay off. What have we got here? Let's have a look. We'll try and condense what you want, chat. So we've got you, 4 quarters, composure, kicking skills, sticking tackles. Okay, right. Okay. I reckon I can condense that from you, chat, into core basics.
Yeah. Play football.
Yeah, because if you don't have a great golf coach once taught me that if you don't respect the basics, you don't deserve the excellence. And that's always stuck with me. Do you know what I mean? Make sure you have the basics, the fundamentals, and always treat them with respect. Otherwise, you don't deserve anything else. So I agree with that, chat. Okay, cool. Right. Then what we're doing is we're going to do this differently. So now, based on that, to try and streamline this and make this as engaging as possible, instead of questions, right, I want you to sell me the team in 5 minutes. So I want you to think what you've wrote down, think of your 6 core fundamentals that we've just put, and we're going to use the randomizer wheel of who goes first.
The big dog.
Start off with the biggest wanker, you said, mate. Let's go.
No. Don't paraphrase me here. Do you know what I mean? There's no paraphrasing here, but no. So, hey, look, I call myself the biggest wanker. So, as technically, I did call myself the biggest wanker. And I will accept that. I am the biggest knobhead. Okay, right. So Nick is first. There we are. So, Nick, here is your team. Take us through your thoughts.
Yeah, well,
get your questions in, and I will throw them to him.
I think I sort of mentioned, like, I felt that we were too stagnant and just kippeting around and, playing whatever sort of football we wanted to play. For me, it's time to bring in some kids, some people who haven't had a go, and let's see what they're made of. Let's face it. If we can turn this season around and make the finals, I'd go down to Lygon Street. I'd strip my clothes off, and I'll order lasagna in the nude in an Italian restaurant if we make finals this year.
Make sure if you do that, you've got Horizon Finance Group tattooed on your back or something.
Yeah, well, fuck it. I'll probably just do it anyway. Sounds like fun. So, look, Ben Camporelli, let's bring him in. We have been so reliant on Cripps, Chera, Hewitt in our midfield. Probably Cooper Lord's been the only one who's got half a chance at having some midfield time, and for whatever reason, whatnot. Ben Camporelli, let's see him. Let's just give him a little bit of experience. We are going to Adelaide. You'd probably get some friends behind him, donning the navy blue. Flynn Young, like, we've recruited this mature age mid-season draft, and he seems to have what we're looking for, and that's some flair in the forward line. Bring him in and see what he can do. And I haven't been a big rap on Lemmy, but in the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's starting to show something. We've got nothing up forward. We've got Charlie Curnow. I don't know what you're doing, Charlie. You subbed yourself off after 1 quarter of football last week, declared yourself fully fit on national TV at the end of the game when we needed you. And then you rode a fucking bike to work the next day to the MCG. Now, I don't know if that was a dare from Carlton to prove your fitness or stupidity or arrogance. But, mate, that's
Maybe
not
he's
a
just
good
an
look.
eco-warrior.
Yeah, well, he's probably an eco-exhausted warrior because he was dropping the ball and all he had for a second effort was like that because he's too puffed out from riding his bicycle. And I don't know, mate. Get serious. Just show us the passion. Show us you want to be there, champ. You've got so many kids with your number on the back. Wear it with pride. don't take it for granted, because you look like you're taking your footy for granted. You look like you're there to take a big mark and kick a couple of cute goals, and you think that's it. Play for your teammates, mate. So I'm not seeing anything from our forward line. I want to keep rotating it, put Flynn Young in there, give Lemmy a crack. I don't know who else we've got, honestly. Don't know who else we've got. We're kind of stuck with some really bad cattle at the moment. Haynes doing a ripper job, outstanding. Wiedering, I don't think, is at his best. Even his decision-making, he seems to, he's taking his marks, but he seems to want to go backwards all the time. And he's not creating play like we've seen. I'm so disappointed as a person who loves Carlton. I hate talking this way. I really hate what I watched, and I hate the things I had to say at that luncheon. It's almost a case of, I work really hard for my money. Do I want to keep throwing it right in the mix into Carlton, or do I want to go do other things? And mate, I'll stand with the cheer squad, and just get back to enjoying my footy again. Very disappointing. So.
It's funny, Nick. Sorry, I'm interrupting, and this is
You're
how
right.
we do the show. I was driving home today, and I was thinking to myself, if I just stopped paying the $700 or the $800 or whatever the hell the number is a year,
Yep.
and just stopped going to the footy, because I didn't go on Saturday, chose not to. I would probably just find something else that makes me happier. I only go to the footy now to hang out with my dad, so we'll just go do something else. I think I'm at that point. Why am I spending a reasonable amount of money every year for this?
It's a fair question.
So deep.
Good question, Matt. Just in the chat, if Weeders doesn't come up, I would be bringing in Lewis Young. Absolutely.
Did you got one from the amazing Dione? Did you think about a bit of Jordan Boyd, a bit of spice?
Yeah, 100%. Should have brought him in. It's almost, you'd almost consider resting Saad and setting an example. Boyd's been working his guts out in the twos.
And Jordan notices you've got a bit of Chincotta in there. Is that to inject a little bit of halfback speed? Looking at Saad and Chincotta, on paper, the two fastest players in the club. Does look a little bit exciting, that.
100%. I don't like seeing this slow chip, stop, start game that we seem to be playing, this safe ball. Take some risks. And that's what all Sardi needs to do. Start taking risks again. I think Chincotta's been fantastic since he's come back. He was a bit slow to start on his first game, but he's finding some form, and probably the only one showing a bit of kahunas at the moment. And we need some kahunas bad.
A question for Lekdog here. A good one from Says. If you did jump off, would you come back if Carlton started to turn things around?
I imagine if I jumped off legitimately jumped off the Blues, I just think I'd probably not engage with AFL that much, to be honest. I imagine the other side of still following the Blues Pomm is hanging out with you guys. It's my dad and you guys, really. I'd ditch all my fantasy stuff. I'd just stop doing it. I'd find something else. There's been other sports I've done that with. They're not as mainstream and as big as the AFL. Yeah, I think I'd be pretty content signing off. I was considering in the shower this morning, this is where I'm at. I was like, wonder if I just next year didn't follow the Blues, but I just followed the VFL team instead, or a VFL team instead, and just see if it's football I like or if it's the content that I like. I don't know. So I'm at all sorts. But I think I could as long as Dad wants to go to the footy, I'll keep going to the footy. Second he stops, there's not much making me want to go. And that's not just because we're losing.
Sad to hear
now.
that from some die-hard Carlton supporters. It really is. But I feel you.
You know what? Shout out my boy Carlton Win on Twitter, because he DM'd. We were DMing him, and he put a post up about why you supported it, and it got me thinking. And you know what? This is really tragic. When I break it down, this is really pathetic. Like, and I'll be totally honest, this is really, really like I actually felt disgusted with myself when I wrote down why I love the club so much. And I remember first starting to follow this, and it's my father-in-law, and there was like a moment of weakness in my heart seeing my wife have a dad, and my granddad and my grandma are long since passed away, so I don't have a fatherly figure. Of having someone to connect with and bound with and ask questions, it made me feel like a 7-year-old again. When my pop taught me soccer, made me feel like it made me feel like a kid again, and it made me feel like that I had some kind of responsibility. And when you actually break it down that way, like I'm genuinely here because I'm soft and couldn't deal with the fact that I had my dad dead. Like, do you know what I mean? And now I'm stuck here because I've met wonderful people. I've met the chat. I've met you guys, and it's opened the door that way. But when I think, why did I walk through this door? That was the reason I walked through the door. And it kind of like, it hits me when Lekdog says that, because like football and sport is that connection, isn't it? Like when you actually break it down to its core fundamentals, winning and losing doesn't really fucking matter. The monogram is worthless. The shirt is just material. What it actually is, it's that connection, and it's the people around you and the beauty of you sharing one common love and that experience. It's quite tragic, really, when you break it. Like, I actually hated myself when I was like, okay, I did it because I wanted a dad. Like, I could have just fucking, like, you know, like had a beer and had a mug of concrete. But it's amazing, isn't it? Like, fucking stupid game. Stupid game.
Can we do one more shout out to Carlton Blues fans, who's a great Twitter account that does amazing highlights and stuff, whose mum passed away last week. So just shout out to you, mate.
Yeah, big friend of the channel. If you watch our VFL reviews, he spends ages clipping them up as well for me. He does a different clip for me so I don't get copyright struck. So huge shout out to him. I wouldn't be able to do good VFL reports without him. He's really added something. So yeah, shout out to him. But before I start breaking down in tears, because evidently as I'm getting older, I'm getting softer, let's see who's next. Is it me? Shout out Jordan as well, who noticed that I'd not put Ian on the last one.
And he gets his go. Here we go.
And it's his go, like, almost like clockwork. It's almost like a blended. Okay, right. So let me do it. Tell you what, I'm trying to do this a new way, and can I just say it's way harder than it used to be. Here you are. Look at this. Yeah, Ian, 5 minutes. Sell me this team, and the core fundamentals are at the bottom. We've all agreed on. So if you want to link it back to that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I could have made so many more, and I could have made bigger calls. Patrick Cripps was dropped for a very long time, I'll be honest. I would have subbed him at halftime, not Cooper Lord, and that was a big reason why Vossi shouldn't be coach, because of the Cooper Lord sub. But I want to have fun. I'm not having fun. I'm getting depressed watching the Blues. So my thing this week was simply somewhat look at the future and bring in those kind of guys, but more just players that I like and that will maybe make me a bit happy to watch on the weekend. So Lockie Cowan, one of my favorites, comes in, and it allows Ollie Hollands to go to the wing, who loves to take the game on. We love it, but we know his kick isn't amazing. So make him make those poor decisions and poor execution in front, forward of center, where hopefully the turnover isn't as bad. And then Saad, I just think his decision-making is so poor. He gets the ball, he doesn't look, and he just kicks it as long as he wants to. And I'm sick of our senior players making the same poor mistake. So he's gone. Chincotta gets swung into defense because he has a go, and I like Chincotta. So he goes there. Lucas comes in because, again, a bit of future. And Blake Acres, I'm sick of what he does as well. Poor decision-making, poor handballs, wants to take the game on, poor skill execution, and I just don't see him part of our future. Lucas is, so he can go on the wing. Forward line, I probably could have made an extra move here, but Fantasia had a really good first quarter, and I feel bad about dropping him. But Ashton Moyer, someone who I want to see play football, makes me excited. Is he actually that good? Has he shown enough form? Probably not, but I want to see him play some football, and we're probably going to get beaten anyway, regardless of who you put out there. Why not see a little bit of Ashton Moyer? Kicked a couple of goals on the weekend. And then, a few of the other outs. Pito, don't want to see him play any football for us, so he's out. Sam Doherty, actually one of our better players, but again, not part of the future, so he kind of makes way. Jackson Binns just not playing great football, copping a rare spray from Michael Voss, and Durden out because I want to see Flynn Young in, and because I've gotten rid of Pitto, I need another ruckman, so Lewis Young comes in, someone who I've enjoyed watching play football this year, surprisingly, for the amount of stick I feel I've given him in the past, but does the team first thing, like rewarding that. And then, Ben Campo, just want to see something else. He's been playing pretty well in the twos. Bit of excitement, debuting in South Australia. Why not? And, lastly, I probably would have made an extra change if I spent more time on this team. Fogarty be out, and I forgot Billy Wilson existed. He would be in for me. But, this whole team is pretty much just bring in guys that I like and that I'm excited to see, because we'll probably lose anyway. So why not at least get some enjoyment out of it?
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yep.
Were Rob Monahan and Matt Duffy considered? Because I reckon you've just about named everyone else.
They honestly weren't, which shout out to Matt Duffy. I probably should have weaseled his position in here. Will White was the other one because I just love that man, but I've kind of seen too much of him, and it hasn't been great the last few times he played. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. And why I just saw why am I persisting with Motlop? I think for most of this year, he's been played out of position as a high half forward, pinch hitting in the midfield, which isn't his role. Finally got thrown forward in that forward pocket deeper and kicked a few snags against Essendon, looked one of our best players, and then had a bit of a weird role. And then was the sub, and then came on and looked like one of our better players. So that's why I'm persisting with him, because in my opinion, you put him in his role, he's our best small forward, and I will die on that hill.
Mate, I love it. Question for Shua, good friend of the channel. Ashton's been playing in the midfield. Would you be playing Moya in that kind of Motlop role? Because I've got to say, I was against it at first, but I've got to. He has looked quite game with him having that bigger size.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I kind of see him a little bit in that kind of Jack Martin mold where he's that mid-sized forward, so he can kind of roam where he needs to, if that is pushing up higher at times or staying deep and being that goal threat with the bit of X factor we saw in the under-18s. That's kind of where I want him. I'd almost say to Ashton, play a free roaming role in that forward line and just find the footy. I don't know. I just want to have fun, and I like Ashton Moya. Does he have the stamina? I don't know, but did anyone really show that they had any fight, or did anyone look like they had some stamina on the weekend? No, but I want to see Ashton Moya, so that's why I've selected him.
I know Zachy Williams has been unavailable, but it's weird. They finally the last couple of games seem to be using him as the forward that goes into the midfield, and it worked a couple of times. What the fuck have we been doing it with Motlop? And like prior to that, Fantasia, and prior to that, old mate Frankie. Like, it's just bizarre to me.
Mate, I agree with you. I do. I think you've nailed it there. It's gonna be an interesting one. I feel like this selection is going to be interesting what they do, because there is that romanticism, isn't there, of you could bring in the Camparellis this week.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly.
There's nothing to lose. I like this team, man. I like it.
And it's probably the first time we can talk for a while that these guys actually probably deserve to play.
Yeah, I think so.
What you want, right?
And they're the guys we think are the future in the next 5 or so years. And I know it, like the rhetoric is, season's over, play the kids. And I normally don't subscribe to that, but that's the only thing that'd get me excited, I think, about going to any footy games for the rest of this season, is seeing these guys, seeing a Flynn Young and what he can do. And they're all kind of movement players, which like I think it was Nick that said he wanted to see movement. So I think it works well.
I haven't been that excited since the Wizard Cup.
I was fucking up and about for that, mate. And by the way, just to interrupt, I don't subscribe to the fact that our list is dog shit and it's the worst list ever put together that everyone's saying. And I actually am not as worried about our future as it seems to be the general consensus. With Jagger, got some fathers. We've been lucky with some father sons last year. We've got some coming up in the next 2 drafts. Like, I'm actually not too stressed about the list. I would love to win now, though.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think
It's
we-
just
I
it's
think
just
we
the
know
way
that
they're
all
going
this
about
isn't-
it, mate. It's the egos, the lack of accountability. Get behind us. We're playing like shit. Get fucked. We're behind you, mate. Like
Yes.
we are there week in, week out. You get behind us.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't care if you lose. Just pretend you care.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mate,
I'm in a
well,
bad
we're-
mood. I'm sorry to vent.
No,
so
no, it's
harshly.
good because you know what's annoying me is there's so much things like I don't mind people getting angry. I have an issue when people start getting offensive angry and just picking at everyone. I think our job as a fan base is show a bit of care because I think that's what's actually going wrong with the club. I don't think there's enough people at the top level. I don't think them wine sipping wankers are talking like us, going, we've just been embarrassed by North fucking Melbourne. I reckon they're going, oh, can you pass me the Pinot Grigio, please? This is a bit of a pickle,
drop
isn't
another
it?
$1 million at the Penfold.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Penfold
Like,
Winery.
oh my God, isn't the south of France fucking beautiful this time of year? I can't believe I brought the damn place. Like, I don't think anyone's having that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's what should be. Because if I was in that boardroom now, I'd be flipping that old desk and I'd be going, what the fuck is going on? Why are we shit? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I would be screaming because I'd care because I can fix it. So, look, don't apologize because you're upset.
That's what I'm saying. Thanks, mate. Yep, that's exactly how I feel.
I'm upset.
I don't know the new president. You two boys would have seen him on Saturday, but it doesn't give me the vibe of the guy that would go in there and smack the desk either. It would just be like, just a calm tap and be like, now, what the fuck?
Oh, I was so scared when I saw Lekdog taking off his hoodie. I didn't know what was going on under there.
Taking a leaf out of your book.
Do you know what I mean? It'll be one of them ones. It'd be interesting to see what he's like. But I mean, just from looking at
very dull.
Our new president, he strikes me as the kind of guy that still asks his mum to iron the creases in his pants, which genuinely worries me when you're leading a group of men, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, like, I know my mum's dead, so I can't really talk, but trust me, I started ironing when I was 16, just before she died, so I can do it myself. But, I mean, that is another thing. Jono, you were picked. Tell me about this team. It's fresh. It's fragrant.
Yeah, well, I haven't gone quite as ballistic as my friend Ian over here, although there was a time today, Pom, when you did message me to remind me that this was on. I'm like, oh fuck, I have to pick a team, and kind of like you guys beforehand. It was just like I was picking the team, I was putting names on a piece of paper, and how sometimes when you do things and it's just like you just second instinct, you put a name there, you just like you're thinking, oh, name the team. Nope, I'm Dovka not putting that guy's name there. So a few guys that have made it onto the outs list. So Akers has been annoying me the whole entire year. It's a lovely guy, Blake, but we know he can't kick over a jam tin, and he just has not gotten going at all this year. So he can go out. I'm fairly certain that Jackson Binns will get dropped this week, particularly after his the bake he received at 3 goal at a time. But I'm keeping him in my team because if Michael Voss actually knew anything about how to coach and nurture young talent, Jackson Binns would be playing on Thursday night as a chance to redeem himself and to play his quote unquote fucking role. So that's what I'm doing. So we get Binns in. Ollie Hollands is on the other wing. Ollie Hollands didn't have the greatest game on the weekend, but fuck, he had a crack. He produced probably our best passage of play for the game against the flow. Took it on. Yeah, we know he's got his deficiencies that he's working on, but I said it at the beginning of the year and it rings true now. He plays the game like he gives a shit. which
He's
is
our new Cade Simpson, isn't he?
100%, and it's a hell of a lot more you can say about him than most of the 22 teammates that took the field with him last week. So he's coming in, he's getting a bit more responsibility, pushing up to the wing, half forward, and I see a lot of good things with Ollie Ollens in the team. Jordan Boyd comes in, just we're replacing Wally with Jordan Boyd this year at Carlton. It's been very much a game of where's Boydie. No one really saw him during preseason, and then wasn't in the team to start the year, and then has just basically spent the entire year in the VFL, and no one really knows why. It's been quite a mystery, but I'm definitely bringing him in because Doherty is going out. He won a lot of the ball, got a coach's vote, but it was 28-0 disposals. Like, really nothing special about that Sam Doherty game. I'm bringing in Ben Camporelli. I've kept Lord on the bench, but Lord is going to be my sub this week. I think he needs a bit of a spell, but I don't want to drop him down to the twos. So I'm putting him back to the sub role. I think it's a good spot for him, knowing every single time it's been the sub, he'll probably be subbed on in the first 5-10 minutes anyway, because there's a fresh injury, as has been the case. But that's what I'm doing with that. Ben Camporelli gets his goes, bashed down the door for long enough. I've named Wiedering purely because if he's not there, then the whole thing goes to shit. But I've named Lewis Young with the intention that he's going to be waxing with Wiedering and providing that ruck support for Tom de Koning as well. Port Adelaide went with the dual rucks last week, and I reckon they're going to do it again this week to really try and stretch us. And I like the idea of putting Chincotta back just to get some run, get some movement, get some excitement. One thing I really couldn't understand on the weekend was even in the first quarter when we were in a little bit of control of the game, the first thought of all of our players was to go back to the sweeper and start building it up from the back. I can understand if you want to build the ball up from the back and get some scores from your defensive half, but have some speed and impetus on the ball. There was absolutely none of that on the weekend. So that's sort of it with the changes. I'm bringing Flynn Young in as well because, again, he's one of these guys who I want to see play football. He looks like he's doing all that he can in the VFL for a few weeks now, kicking goals, winning the ball. And from his highlight tapes over the weekend, it looks like he's got some pretty decent skills. And more skilled players we can get in that side at the moment is the better. So that's probably it, just in terms. And again, just I think for now, and you mentioned it, Ian, you want because we've got 9 weeks to go of this season, right? It's probably not gonna finish the way that we all want it to, which is nice big run towards the end, and then 4 weeks of September. But again, you have to look for reasons to keep getting up, keep going to support, and why you want to. And yeah, there will be some weeks when, fair enough, you'll have better things to do. And why on earth should you be bothered going to the footy if they're not going to be bothered rocking up? So why do we need to find the reasons? Well, you know what, Vossi, you're coaching for your life now, mate. Give yourself reasons to have another go at this next year. If you want to earn the last year of your contract, mate, then, well, you've got to give yourself every opportunity. And if you just keep rolling out the status quo as you did last week, it won't happen.
Mate, I think you've sold it to me. Couple of questions. Did you contemplate the Billy Dog?
I did contemplate the Billy Dog. He was in and then he was out, and then I decided I'm going to go with Jordan Boyd because I want someone who can actually hit a target. Billy's kicking's good, but it's still got a bit of a way to go. But I'm looking for Boyd for a little bit of seniority, particularly if I'm punting Doherty, which I am.
Makes sense. And Jono, what do we think of the list moving forward? Who's on your trading block?
Can I add to this
Yeah.
before you answer, Jono?
Go on.
Sure.
I just want to list the players that are out of contract this year at the end of this season. Chincotta,
Yes.
Billy Wilson, Brody Kemp, Flynn Young, Francis Evans, Harry Charlson, Harry Lemmy, Jack Silvani, Jesse Motlop, Matt Carroll, Mitch McGovern, Nick Newman, Nick Hayes, Orazio Fantasia, Rob Monahan, Sam Doherty, Tom DeConning, and Will White. So it's a significant chunk of the list.
It is. It's a significant chunk. I'd say of all those, Mitch McGovern has allegedly hit a trigger, so he'll.
I swear he's had a lot of triggers in this contract, man.
Well, it's probably the only way he's been able to stay on the list for as long as he has, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Rises when needed.
Yeah. Who are we trading? Look, from what I was told this week from, and I won't name the person who told me, but he said there are going to be some changes. It's just a matter of how much and how quickly it all comes. And I've got no doubt that means the playing list. There are rumblings of divides, but of course that always happens when a club's in crisis, kind of like what Carlton is. So at the moment, all I will say is, and all I know really, because I really do not know that much about the goings on and who's going to be traded and who's not going to be traded, but I think we shouldn't be surprised about what might come in the off season. And I think it's very hard at the moment to trust anyone at the club, but I think we're just going to need to understand that no one is bigger than the club. And I put in the piece today on Gardner Stand that with our incoming CEO, he excels in football administration. So we've had the marketing and we've had the membership CEO to someone come and correct the books. We've had the steady the ship CEO as kind of a final job and really just like, this is what you need to do, is kind of like, this is where you're at, more like an audit type thing. And now we get the football CEO in Graham Wright. Yes, there's the caveat that he's never been a CEO before and he might be shit, but he's got all this experience of running a football department, and that's been the part that we've just been systemically getting wrong for so long now. So it's hard to put your trust in a system and an organization that's repeatedly failed you and repeatedly let you down, but it's just one of the things you're going to do. And Jack Silvani, I don't think will be traded or will leave.
He's also a free agent.
Where is this coming from as well? Like, why is Jack Silvani? Like, I've seen these posts everywhere, like, get rid of Jack. Well, have I missed something?
His dad's just trying to get his value up. He's like, I've been saying for 2 years he'll end up at St Kilda because his dad will overpay.
Which is probably my fault, because with all the free agencies, I was like, the hardest person to draft is a lockdown key defender. Like, because watch the last 3 years of the draft, every twat plays loose. But when you come into the bigs, every team needs the big guy that stops a big guy. I'm like, I would be throwing buckets at Jack if I was Sydney or someone. I'd be like, shit,
absolutely.
we can't find one. I can find a TDK. Every ruckman's like him.
Oh, he's going to get paid so much money. He's
probably on no money, Jack. Like, Jack's probably what?
He's about to make bank, man.
Jack's about to get paid.
The guys, by the way, that I'd be looking at more just for changes, the guys out of contract next year. I won't read all of those names, but the key names, Sard, Durden, both Hollandses, I think, out of contract. Jordan Boyd, Lockie Cowan, Fogarty, Lewis Young, Sam Walsh, Zach Williams. It's quite a lot of names that I'd just have them in your back of your mind, fam.
For next year.
Yeah. They're out of contract next year, but we see a lot of players get traded in there.
There's a bit of chat around Elijah, and something might come to a head at the end of this year. But
I suspect you're probably right.
Yeah, there's. I'm not willing to go with anything on that just yet.
I think reading between the lines, you've got more chance of me lining up for Carlton Football Club round 1 next year than Elijah being on the list. Like, let's be honest. Like, and that's not me speculating. I think
Reading between the lines.
Do you know what I mean? It's do you know what I mean? It's a worse kept secret than fucking Biden losing his mind. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Joe Biden's there pissing in the side of the stage, and they're saying, "Nah, he's totally fine," and everyone's like, "Nah, he's okay. He's okay." Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone knows. Just let's not dance around the subject anymore. Like, I'm gutted, but nah, I agree. One name from you all, because you did ask, right? I'll start with you, Ian. One name. You're the list manager right now.
Oh.
Graham Wright has said to you, you've got to rejuvenate this list. You've got to kill a player. Who are you trading on our list? One name, Ian.
Ugh. I don't think anyone has value. So Brody Kemp.
Oh, he's skirted that question. I love it. He's danced around it like he's Nick Dacos.
I'm not trading a star. We have enough salary cap. 1.1 million on one hand. They're saying we have for Tom, and we're getting a draft pick in. Yet we need to trade a star because there's no salary cap. I'm seeing 1.1 in front of my eyes. So yeah, Brody Kemp, I guess.
Nick,
I'm going to be very controversial here, but I'm driving Harry Mackay up to Sydney and seeing what we can get for him. I think, if he's having personal issues and mental health, Sydney's a great place where the spotlight's not on you. They could probably do with a decent forward who in the right mindset is that, a decent forward. I think he's still got some currency.
Tim P, we will end up with draft picks because we'll get compensation from free agents and we'll end up trading back into this year because we don't need our future picks because of father-son. So don't worry about draft picks.
And you can trade 2 years in advance as well. So
except this
we'll
draft is apparently AIDS.
I don't know. Tommy's.
I've got to counter that.
Father-son as well out of nowhere. So like we don't necessarily need a draft pick anyway because we've got a first rounder.
We've already got number one draft pick in Jagger Smith coming back in.
A lot more about this than me.
No, John, I've got to count it because this time last year people were saying it was a shallow draft pool, and like all my content last year, I was saying there's so much talent in it, and then it was about the buy. Everyone started going, "Oh my god, you should see these players," because the national champ started. This draft is poor for top-end talent, right? But I am telling you now, you look at the historical, heavily marginalized drafts. This is the biggest marginalized draft of all time. We're looking at 48% of the top 50 talents are landlocked to anyone else. That means 2 things. 1, everyone's trading out on it who's got a good team. B, it means everyone is devaluing their picks if they have more than one. Carlton have 1 player, Harry Dean. Ignore the Kaltoumi froth. He's an incredible player. They will be in unwritten agreement because all but 2 teams have a player that they have to match a bid on. And historically, last 2 years ago, when Gold Coast had 8 of them, all them northern state teams had like a little unwritten agreement that no one bid on anyone. I am telling you now, all the list managers will be like, we ain't doing it because if we bid on one player, you're going to bid on ours. You look at how the ladders formed. There is some. I would say this suits 3 clubs who are desperate: Carlton, Melbourne, and Fremantle. All 3 of them clubs, if they look at this draft, they have sellable assets that have protection. They can easily buy in. So I feel like you will be surprised if you're a good list manager. I reckon 4 picks inside the top 30, including Harry Dean. You could change this list overnight with the senior talent you have to protect them.
Question without notice, Pom. I know it's done a little bit of rounds in the press this week, but where would you have someone like Jagger in this draft? Because there was a whole big hoo-ha about, we don't have our first pick. But I think one of the silver linings in Jagger potentially not playing this year is that he comes in as that new recruit, as that first year draftee, and has got a preseason and a bit of a body behind him. So where would he rank in this pool?
Based on last year, so if we just kept his junior year, if our I would probably have him pick one, but I had him pick one last year because when I believe the pick one has to be the guaranteed talent. So like this year, I've got Danny Annabelle, which is against most people, but I think Danny Annabelle is guaranteed to be good. Like, and that's how I would judge it. I'm judging it in risk order versus talent. So he would be one. I think as a dynamic threat, though, I'd say be about 4 or 5. But I think as a guarantee you won't fuck it up, he would definitely be that guy. He's a very good footballer, and I think he's very much a lucky club because he's got 2 of the biggest, strongest oxes to protect him, which makes him even better. So I think he would be an incredible talent. But I don't like when you trade a future away comparing it, because if Carlton's future first wouldn't technically be pick 1, it would probably be pick 9, pick 10, depending on where we finish, pick 6 maybe.
Yeah.
He's definitely better than that, but is Jagger Smith better than, let's say, Murphy Reid and say Fred Rodriguez? I don't know if he's better than them. If you do that as a comparison, say you get Murphy Reid and Fred Rodriguez, I think Fred Rodriguez isn't as good as Jagger, but Murphy Reid is better than any midfield forward we've got on our list at the minute. So it's probably a net win. So that's how I look at it. I feel that's lazy analysis from the journalists who have said, but Carlton's pick 1's better than this year's pick 1. But it wouldn't have been that. It would have been Murphy Reid and maybe Fred Rodriguez. Is that better? So I don't think it is.
So, and I'm sorry, I know we're going to go way over time here, but if you want to talk about lazy analysis, Pom, if you could rebut to all these freaking Hawthorn fans who are like, Carlton season's over, we have their pick, yay. Realistically, what are they looking at getting? If the top end of this draft is so compromised, as you say, like you've just said, Daniel Annabelle's the likely pick 1, along with Cooper Duff Tyler, and there's a few other Gold Coast guys up there who are there. All these guys are landlocked. You're probably there's maybe only 4 or 5 live picks in the top 10. Where does that pick get out to? And again, what are you looking at?
I feel like I keep joking about this. It's probably the board's best thing that's ever happened to them because they're about to complete a rebuild. It's just not ours. I think you'll see them sell that pick very quickly. They're linked with players like Zach Butters, and you would say a top 10 pick plus a future will require Zach Butters. I feel like that pick is perfect for Hawthorn in the sense that they will be looking at it going, okay, it's a really good pick with the new point system to maybe help Brisbane out. If Brisbane want to do a little bit of dancing with their picks, and we can maybe maximize that to get a couple of picks in the 20s to really give Port a war chest. Port traditionally like multiple picks of lower value than an early pick. So that might be something. But I reckon that turns into a Zach Butters. That turns into an A-grade star, which their midfield desperately needs. So I would say if I was a Hawthorn fan, yes, I would be touching myself because they probably were anticipating needing to have extras. They're probably going to get a pick right now that fixes the Zach Butters trade.
And we just need them being fucking amazing again, right?
At least but look at it this way. Look, some of you always tell me to find a positive. The positive is at least we've completed a rebuild. It's just not ours. But do you know what I mean? At least we did it. We did it, baby. That's all I've got left. I've got humour. That's all I've got left. Who's this?
I would trade.
I'm going to go last.
For the record.
LD.
Let's do it.
All right, Lekdog.
You are all going to hate this team.
Yeah. Hey, look at me. Lekdog has sacked the lot of them. Go on.
The whole right-hand side.
I love this.
Wowee.
So here's the thing. I want
this.
enthusiasm. And I think I'm not allowed to drop Charlie Kerner or Patrick Cripps. And I need to cull someone to make a statement. And as much as I love you all, dropping Sam Doherty ain't the statement we need to make. So Tom DeConnick, fuck off out of here. You dropped. We looked at Beto and Pito was in the middle. TDK, you've been disinterested for a few weeks now. Just rest your body. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want to risk you reducing your value. I want you to go for that 1.8 mil, mate. Set up your whole life. I'm behind you 100%. Get out of my team. Pito, you're in. In my notes here, Chincotta comes out, but that's not because he's bad or anything. I actually like all you guys putting him off the half-back line. I don't trust Voss to use him the correct way. I've removed him from the equation. We can't go in with a completely negative player, like someone that has the ability to be a negative player, because Voss will use it. So I've had to remove him.
Sorry, Lekdog. Can I just butt in? I just have to ask this question, and I have to ask some intelligent people. What the actual fuck went through Michael Voss's mind deciding to play Alex Chincotta on Caleb Daniel on Saturday? What?
I don't know. They've got some pretty good players in that team, and Caleb Daniel, maybe he just plays Supercoach or fantasy and sees how many disposals.
It was up against him in draft. He's like, no way.
Yeah, exactly. His opponent had him in draft.
You know what was worse is I did the preview with Marnie, Kanga TV, and if you go about 15 minutes into that, she goes, one of the worries is probably our back line. There's been a lot of calls to drop Caleb Daniel this year because he's not really using the ball well. And literally that first centre bounce, and I see Alex on Caleb, I'm like, surely not. Surely not. And it turned out it was an actual tag. So, yeah, I don't get it either.
It's bizarre,
that's probably the most baffling and funniest matchup of the year.
I wish it was crazy.
Funny. So Blake Acres, he comes out of the side, not part of the future. He's had a couple of decent games, but we've drafted for modern football by drafting young outside players. I'd really love to see them play young outside drafted players. Acres comes out to make some room for them. Matty Carroll, he's fine, but he's coming out. He's just not quite to the level yet. Cooper Lord, and I wrote this note before he'd been subbed. This was in a group chat, and it just said Cooper Lord shit ? Because I look at him and physically look at him and go, that looks like a footballer. And maybe it's just how we use him. It's probably just how we use him. But the more I see him play, the more I go, am I just being deceived by the biceps on this man? He's out of my team. And Corey Durden comes out because, I mean, I need some room in the forward line, and he's the one that upsets me the most right now. And the ins are just like Lockie Cowan. We can use him as an interceptor. We can use him as a lockdown. We can use him as a halfbacker, which is what I really want them to do, but they'll never do. Boyd comes back in to create that kicking. Moyer and Flynn come in just to play those forward roles because why not? Campo comes out on the wing. Ben Camporelli comes in as our rotation mid. And Sard's lucky he's still in the team. I like saying woof, so he gets to stay in the team. And Binzi, I think, is really I think if you're going to go after anyone in this team as the coach, Binzi ain't the man to do it in his 6th or 7th game, whatever it is. So I don't want to drop him, but he's probably going to be my sub. That's the team, gentlemen.
That's beautiful.
Mate, questions from chat. Did you think about Cooper Lord playing the Ashton Moyer role because he was going all right and then Voss treated him like Matt Kennedy this week?
Yeah, I'd just rather play sort of that more natural forward. I think Lord's a more natural mid than he is a forward, and we're kind of forcing him into that role. So I'd just rather see the upside of Ashton Moyer. We're going to go to Port Adelaide and lose by 100 points probably. So, Lordy, just stay at home and have a rest, mate. You don't need to be exposed to that. Moyer, maybe Moyer will rise in the heat. We put him in the team a couple of times in relatively easy positions. Let's just throw him in the fire, see what happens.
You know what scares me is we've used fate for this. We've used fate, like you've seen. I haven't edited it; it's a randomizer, but it's got progressively more passive aggressive, and if everyone's reacted well to yours, I'm not too sure how they're going to react to mine because I went the same process of you, and I'm really glad we did the fundamentals because the fundamentals are something that I write down in everything I do. Like I write down 5 things I want to do and get out of this, but the integrity. And here you are, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone. So I'll explain it. So I'll tell you the outs because I don't know how that comes up on your screen at home. But my outs are Pearnett, Charlie Curnow, Corey Durden, Blake Acres, Sam Doherty, Jacob Wheater, I ain't chancing it, Motlop, Carroll, and Sard go in. So when I built this team, what I wanted to do is I wanted to have an air to win now, but a vision for the future. And the future straight away for me, biggest issue, Carlton have plummeting in the back half of the ground on scores from turnover and defensive half. And that screams to me that the back line, as much as Voss says it's good at resisting, the modern day back line attacks. So what I've done is I've gone, right, Wheaterin's out. I know it's going to be O'Farrell in future. Let's give him the weeks. Short turnaround. If Wheaterin goes down, that could be a long-term issue. Cowan comes in to play that role. He's more astute to be a lockdown defender. I can't see Adam Sard play a lockdown defender one more time. If I see it again, I might actually do something I'll regret. And then let's go modern day football. Billy Wilson, he's quick, he's fast. Jordan Boyd is a ball user. Let's get him going. Let's get the club going from the back half of the ground. I believe Jacob should play centre-half back, not full-back, and set up our transition. O'Farrell is a better user than Jesus, more attacking with the ball. So let's play them where they're going to play in the future. Half-back, centre line, really straightforward. I can't see 2 Bulls anymore. That needs to stop. The one thing I've agreed with Voss on is Kennedy and Hewitt can't play in the same midfield. Now you're also seeing that what do teams do against us? North Melbourne showed how easy it is. Cripps and Hewitt together mean that if you've got slight pace and you get the ball first, you use your ruckman to get in the way of the midfielder, it's game over. It's game over. So Hewitt is the only Bull in that midfield at any one time. Binns and Camporelli around him. Fantasia, I know you're all going to cry about it, but Fantasia was head and shoulders above all the small forwards last week.
He's been our best on impacting the scoreboard at small forward this year.
He gets in. Tim, you might not like the comment about Jesus, but Harry O'Farrell is a natural interceptor. JSOS's best work is a lockdown. So I'd rather have Wheater in at centre-half back. I'd rather have O'Farrell in that because that is where they're going to be playing for the next 10 years. Flynn Young, conduit, finally. Lemmy and Cripps. You'll see I've named Cripps in the forward line to make a point. What do Carlton stand for? We are going to be new age Carlton. I only have one Bull in this. So Lemmy comes in. He's going to be young. He needs a protector. Patrick Cripps, obviously struggling with whatever it is. Still taking them marks, though, still a menace. Full forward, stay there, be a menace. Watch the tape, Geelong versus Hawthorn, when Dangerfield did his Achilles, and he just stayed in the goal square all the time and kicked 4. Williams on the ball. Thank Christ for that. That was the only thing I liked this week. And then Ben Camporelli comes into the side to make his debut with his brother. I like a bit of synergy, plus it helps the media team. And I need a reserve ruck that isn't Mark Pearnett. I thought TDK was woeful. He only had 40% ruck last week. He does his best work, 80% ruck. Lewis Young comes in, gives Cripps that break, Gibbs that. And Lord is my sub because when Carlton decide that we need to get rid of a forward, got Lord there and he can do his proper job as an inside midfielder. That is a statement with pride. I will answer the questions. Chat, ask me some questions.
I love this team, Bobby. There was a version of my team that had Cripps, Charlie Curnow out and Cripps at full forward, and I just couldn't pull the trigger. I am so happy you did.
Yeah, well,
I agree with Sure.
Well, he's got to train for the Tour de France. So what are we doing here?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I see. I disagree with Gav when he says this half-back line would get smoked. Did I not just see 2 All-Australians get smoked by North? So The way I see it is the modern day half back line nowadays isn't there to defend. It's there to also score. And I'm looking Wilson worked hard on his defence, got the pace. Harry O'Farrell didn't do any shame in the games he played in the seniors. I want him at centre half back because Jesus is a fullback. He's my lockdown. I'm not fucking about with that role. Boyd, great kick. Cowan actually is what Sardi's trying to be without the stupid woof noise. So he actually can defend. It is his bread and butter. And he's got a booming kick. So we used to play McGovern in that role. He's a lot more aggressive. And then I've just tried to have a bit of fun and creativity in that front half because I feel like Kerner has been down. It hurt me to kill Kerner, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And McGovern has been our best forward in the last 3 weeks, and he's only played 2 weeks. So that was the thinking. And I wanted someone to protect Lemmy. And I thought, well, I don't want Cripps dropped, but I want him away from there. And if I play him at full forward, he's got to trust his boys. He's got to trust them.
There's very few players who we've all selected. I think it's Shearer, Williams, Cripps. I think we all picked Gov. Hewitt, Sauce, Haynes, Fantasia.
There's a bit about where we're at, eh?
Yeah.
Well, it just made me sad, though, because I just feel like Boyd, I agree with Albert here. I don't actually know, and you touched on it earlier, Jono. I don't actually know what Boyd did. Because
He can kick.
Can I remind you that Jordan Boyd was an unforced change in for a preliminary final? It was an unforced change, and Michael Voss brought him back after he hadn't played football for he got suspended round 20 against Port. He got suspended, missed 3 weeks, couldn't get back in. Yeah, fair enough. The team's on a roll, winning and playing finals, and then he brings him back for a prelim, and now he can't get a fucking look in.
Likes to play a build from the back by foot, and we're not playing our best kick. Strange.
Where's Boydie? Someone make the book. I'll buy it.
I actually don't understand that. Like, I'm with you. I don't understand it. I really don't. So I've tried to adapt what Voss is trying to do with a modern day flair. Call me Gordon Ramsay of football picking. That's what I've done. Just added a new sense into it. And if you notice as well, I've been very clever. I believe in leaders in lines, right? In lines. So Jesus, he is in charge of this back line. He is the captain of it. In the midfield, George Hewitt is the captain of the midfield and the followers. In the forward line, there is no natural leaders. They've tried to manufacture it with Charlie Kerner. So I've put our actual captain there. He's there understanding what the midfielders do. And he is there controlling the forwards. And I want Cripps to get a crash course. If I was his coach for 2 weeks, crash course. You're going to see what it's fucking like to play in this forward line when you guys do whatever you do.
Bomb it.
See how much fucking fun you have. See how hard it is. And you know what? Hopefully Cripps goes and kicks 2 every week and he can knock on my door and go, your mate Charlie Kerner is washed. I've just kicked 5 goals in 2 weeks. And then I can go, okay, maybe it is Charlie's fault. So that's it. And I can't wait for one selection. But now we go and pick the team. That's me. Go this way, Pom.
Shout out to Toby Pink.
Great plug
Charlie
for
Kerner goalless,
for
by
the
the way.
upcoming show.
Great plug. Great plug. Plug. What was that like?
I just said shout out to Toby Pink, who was not on a list 2 years ago for keeping Charlie Kerner goalless. Just shout out to him.
Good on you to win the pick.
It was very good, actually, to be fair. It was very, very good. But now we've got to pick the team. And you can see this is the biggest pool of players we've ever had. So this is going to be quite good. We've got a full house in chat. Get ready for... So, Ian, defender.
Lockie Cowan. My man.
Oh, moo! You know what? When Sard retires, because look, I'll be totally honest, I'm not a big fan of the moo. I mean, the Wolf. I'm genuinely not a big fan. I'll be honest. I don't mind it when it's a long kick, but when it's like a handball and a
Oh,
tip
yeah, it
kick,
just feels stupid.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
Mm,
you know what I mean? Can we have a moo?
Yes.
yep.
That'd be well
we can
better. Like
moo him when he's playing in Tasmania. Moo,
I want a
moo, moo.
Shetland cat, like like a Highland cattle one, not like a Frisian, which is moo. I want like a like real fog. Yeah, like real angry cow, like an angry cow, like a cow that's fucked off. That one. All right, well there we are. There's my cow isms
I used
for the
to live
week.
with one.
Nick, who are we bringing in, buddy?
Jack Silvani.
Jesus, my brother. I
Doing
was once,
fantastic.
I was once a doubter, but now I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I'm a besosiver. Besosiver? Yeah.
Did
When
you
I saw
see
his
his face,
face.
Tom? And now
I
you're
saw his
Yeah,
face.
mate, I did. Mate, honestly, you Australians have convinced me. Maybe now, if your brother can do something, you can do something. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I can steal a car. I just don't know it. Right? I just maybe never have done it. So maybe I am a master car thief. I don't know. So I might start
You've
going
got
robbing cars. I live in Melton, so it's not like
Well
I'll get
done,
arrested.
Tom. You've got the monkey stuck in my head.
Well,
Do-
hey,
do
with
you-
monkeys.
Do you have a Hyundai for sale, Pommy?
Not anymore, mate. Mate,
Excellent call by Peter Cox in the comments here. Imagine if every single time he got the ball, we just rang cowbells.
Yes.
Please.
The AFL would ban that 1 quarter in. They would just come and remove all of the
And
cowbells.
can we tell the AFL to fuck off?
Mate, you got to get permission to have a drum in the cheer squad. They're not going to let us take in
Did you-
cowbells.
Did you
Oh.
see today Dimmer got $2,000 fine for sticking a finger up?
I know.
Yeah,
you
his
can't
own
fucking
players.
When did that become offensive? Like when did one of them like I know we get offended by everything now, but you can't possibly get offended by hand signs. Like what are we gonna do?
Well,
Sue
yeah.
fucking deaf people because they called you a twat?
Pretty
It got
much.
offensive in about 1810, but it also stopped being offensive in about 1815. So
You know
Good
what?
one,
We have
double
it as a term of
cowbells.
endearment. Like I'll go out the front of the house and my son will look at me and I'll just do this to him when mum's not looking.
Mate,
And he'll
Hinkley,
do it back to me. Like, am I teaching him bad behaviors? I don't know. But
Hinkley
it
pretended to be a plane and got a 10K fine. So
that's true.
Albert, I think I gesticulate a lot. I gesticulate. I think it's healthy. I get told off for it, but I like to gesticulate. Jono, backline. We've got JSOS. We've got Moo Cow. You're adding.
Yeah, we've got Jordan Boyd just to make sure he
He's
gets there.
back.
Hell yeah, brother.
You know what I'm really disappointed with, right? Because the minute Elijah was out, there was obviously he turned into like fucking one of the runners for the Goodfellas. Like when Harry was out, people were starting to like talk about fucking orgies and all sorts. There has not been one Jordan Boyd rumor, like, and this guy has been actively under our eyes. Like, Lekdog, we need to create burners on Reddit and say
Let's start
Jordan
one
Boyd
now.
actually died. And
No, he got harvest. His organs got harvest when he went in for a little nail manicure thing.
and it's just a hologram. The VFO's got sophisticated holograms, like when they brought Tupac for a concert, and he's killing it because it's actually highlights of his finals appearances for the Blues. Hasn't been seen since 2023. It's
He's
just
cutting shapes. He's cutting shapes at Rainbow Serpent.
You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Lekdog, Backman.
Is it up to me? Is it? I'll take Nick Haynes.
Nick Hines. Okay. Oh God, this is not beautiful.
Enjoy
This
this,
team's going
Pommy.
to be absolutely wild.
Yeah, I know. I actually feel like I've gone too safe picking the Canes there.
Oh.
Because I know who Pommy's picking, unless he's already picked.
It's
haven't
O'Farrell,
picked
surely.
It's what?
O'Farrell, surely.
Yeah, I'm not risking Weir in. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
His leg
it's
exploded.
And I'm scared to think what the club might do to like try and prove he's fit. Like I've got a feeling like he's gonna like jump out of a helicopter with no parachute or something.
Oh my god!
Land at
Just
full forward just
parkour
to
on the
prove
roof.
he's fine. I'm
He'll
scared.
ride into football park on a pogo stick.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I'm genuinely worried what they're gonna do.
We'll ride out on a pogo stick, and then he'll have to leave the ground on a fucking Zimmer frame.
Do you know what I mean? I'd like to go. You know what? If any players are watching, one of my favourite fighters of all time, Nassim Hamid, once came to the ring on a gold throne, and there was like 12 scantily clad women, but they were muscular. Like, I'd love a player to just arrive like that. You know what I mean? In like an Egyptian style pharaoh's outfit with like some really strong multinational people. Just like, yeah, I think it'd be cool. Like, just really take the piss. Okay, chat. Anyway, we need to get a defender. Your option for halfback is Akers, Ben Camporelli, Binns, Carroll, Chera, Chincotta, Cripps, Kerno, Doherty, Durden, Flynn Young, Fantasia, Fogarty. Fuck, it's hard when we make lots of changes. Hewitt, Lucas Camporelli, Lewis Young, Lemmy, Lord, McGovern, Moyer, Motlop, Ollie Hollins, Pitternet, Wilson, Sard, TDK, Vietering, or Williams.
It's all Billy Wilson.
Wilson's
How good
already...
was Prince Nassim Hamid? He was good. Billy Will.
Billy boy.
Yeah, Wilson's already picked, mate.
Crowd's
gone wild.
Oh,
Billy
chat,
boy.
you make me so happy. Billy Wilson. Can I just say, I sat next to his ma and dad at the BNF. Loveliest family in the world as well. Like, honestly, gorgeous family. I really hope he plays. Nice people. Nice people. Centerline, Ian.
Ooh, who do I want? Lucas on the wing. Here we go.
Hey, Camper! South Australia! Back. We're back, baby. Okay. Mr. Nick.
Ben Camporelli. Come on.
Good luck fitting that in the center line.
Can you imagine having that on the actual wing? Can you imagine like the vibes? If
It'd be sick.
You know what? I've made Carlton's marketing easier. Like the Camporellis come home to South Australia because we know what it is. It's just going to be a picture of Michael Voss with his arms crossed, with Francis Evans with his back to him, and it's going to be like old friends reunite. But it would be better if it was the Camporellis, wouldn't it? And be like,
you just know Frank the Tank's playing this week.
It's going to be so bad, isn't it? On Wednesday,
in
tomorrow,
for Jackson Binns, only change.
Only change.
Binns out, Evans in. Oh no!
We'd hate to upset the balance of the team by making too many changes. It'll throw everyone off.
We're on track. We're on track.
It's fattening, Jono.
You know what? Fuck it. Adam Chera in the middle of the ground.
Oh, yes. Please. I need the end of two balls. If you've watched my content for long enough, you know I don't believe in lots of bigs and I don't believe in two elite key forwards. So this is a dream already. My willy is twitching. Talking about willies twitching. Lekdog.
So I know we normally just pick and don't ask questions. But how mad would you be if I didn't pick Tom DeConning here and took our other ruckman against Dante Vicentini and Jordan Sweet?
It's your job. Look,
I'm picking Mark Pitternet as our ruckman.
He's making a stand. Look, you either stand for something or you stand for nothing.
And I'm not just doing that for memes either. No.
He was the better ruckman.
I've got to pick a mid. Oh, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm going to leave it to you, chat. but I am picking George Hewitt as my one and only bull. This is his midfield this week. He's going to do it. Chat, we need a midfielder. We need a follower. Hewitt needs a mate. He's got Mark Pitton at one side. He's going to be tapping down. He's got Shearer on the outside. Camporelli's just nipping in. Where are you going? Okay, love you, babe. Z will.
Yeah, we've got a lot of different answers here. This is good.
Z will. I'll read them out while you keep doing it, Lord. And we've got Akers, Binns, Carroll, Chincotta, Cripps, Kerno, Doherty, Durden, Flynn Young, Fantasia, Fogarty, Lewis Young, Lemmy, Lord, McGovern, Moyer, Motlop, Ollie Holland, Sard, TDK, Wheatering. Oh, look, Moyer getting some love. Cooper, well done, Alex. TDK on the ball. It's
a bit of Luke Jackson action, you reckon?
Don't give Voss ideas. It's probably the one thing he hasn't tried.
Only DBKK is voting for Cripper. They really want Cripper in. It makes sense. I get it, but Lord is clearly.
I think
Lord.
I reckon Lord's got it.
Cooper, Lord.
What if we drop Cripper? Oh no.
As long as my ass points down, they'll never rest him. Like, when have we rested Cripps? Even when have we rested him? Like, I think every superstar at every club has been rested at least once when they're battered and bruised. It's almost like it reminds you of like Squid Games are bored. It's just a lot of rich people going, how far can we push this guy? Like, when will he break? He just keeps turning up. And putting everyone in his back. Like, it feels like he's sadistic at times. I feel sorry for him.
We'll be back together and I'll give him 10 grand this week.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, I love Cripps, but it genuinely feels like we're fucking trying to milk the cow. Milk the cow from him. Forwards, let's go. Ian.
Oh, I keep forgetting it's me first and I'm not paying any attention. Ashton Moyer. Let's go.
It's the All Glenelg Star Weekend.
Look, this is vibes, man. Like, I get excited about this. I'll be like, okay, the South Australian boys,
Something different.
Hey, the SA boys, Mr. Nick.
Cripps, full forward. Love it.
Oh yes,
yes. This is sick.
You know what annoys me is when you've had the best fullback of the last 20 years, Alex Rance and Jack Rewell, all say that during the AFLX, when they first trained with Cripps, they were genuinely shocked because Jack Rewell gave that speech that Cripps killed Rance. And he was like, I'm a bit concerned about round one because Cripps forward is deadly. It's never, ever been seen long enough. Like, I'd love to see it. I'm genuinely gutted because I was going to pick Cripps at full forward, but Jono, here we go.
What's the record
Sorry, man.
number of team changes week to week? Is it Ross Lyon that week?
Yeah, it was Ross Lyon.
The Ross Lyon that
week
week that he
finals.
rested absolutely everyone. Because I reckon we're going to go close to.
We've had four on the show,
Flynn
so we're
Young.
already ahead of that.
Flynn Young.
Yes.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 7 changes already.
And what is it? 3 debutants.
This is
It's
great.
good, yeah.
This is
What-
so
I
rogue.
reckon
I fucking love it.
this could save Vossi's job if all of a sudden he just put in a decent effort with 3 debutants and like.
It's
10
4
changes.
debutants, isn't it? Is Wilson, O'Farrell, Ben Camporelli, and Flynn Young.
debut,
Hoff
Ben
played
debut,
again, didn't he? He played it. He played
Wilson
Yeah.
debut.
GWS.
Oh, did he?
So there's,
Yeah,
there's
Farrell's
three.
played.
Oh,
There's
right.
3. We could have
Must have been
4
asleep.
though. We could have 4.
I think it was the week
Comes
Jay
to light.
Sauce got hurt.
Lek, could you do it?
Could I do it? Well, no. I'm going to select Orazio Fantasia, and I'm going to leave a spot open.
This is
I
big.
think I'm just full spite mode right now.
I'll go McGovern because I do need an actual forward in that forward line to control
I
it.
haven't
So-
revisited the piece of work, but a few years ago I did it, and Gov at that time was our most effective forward when you looked at goal assists and goals. Although
We
he
have
didn't
talked
kick a
about
hell of
it.
a lot of goals.
a few times on our show. I have noticed when you and me be together, we have talked about it. Okay, chat. You've got one forward: Akers, Binns, Carroll, Chincotta, Kerno, Doherty, Durden, Fogarty, Lewis Young, Lemmy, Motlop, Ollie Holland, Sard, TDK, Wheater, and Williams.
There's
Lamb dog.
a couple of Williams, a couple of
One for
Lemmys.
Levy.
2, 3. There's 3 Williams and 3 Lemmys, 4 Lemmys.
Lemmy's getting a lot of love.
Hell yeah. This is fucking
Another
awesome.
South Australian.
You know what? I feel like that there might be somewhere David Teague watching this. And David Teague's willy is so hard at the minute because he's like, look at the size of that forward line. He's like, yes, I told you. You don't need smalls. Just go tall. Crummings for fucking pigeons. We're men. I love it. I like that. Right. Okay. We've got the bench now, chat. We've got a 5-man bench. So we will start, as always, with Ian.
Oh, who is left? Yeah, there's some big names that I actually do want to save. I'll just get the best one, I reckon. Ollie Hollands.
Yes.
Can I just say that's the first time all year Oliver Hollands has been not starting. So shout out, Ollie.
Yeah, we could. That's not his fault though. We couldn't
No,
leave
but
some
you
of
remember,
these
We do love him.
for chat.
remember last year? I always had to save him because Paul was on like some vendetta to kill him.
Yeah, never understood it. Still don't.
Like every week I had to save Ollie. I was like a dad, fucking dad on my own.
Leave him alone.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I was like, Ollie, I'll save you, brother. Nick, who are we saving?
I'm going to save another South Australian and give Lewis Young a run this week.
Oh shit! We've got our
I love
backup
this
ruck,
team so
gentlemen.
This team genuinely might come home from Adelaide with a Farmers Union sponsorship.
Can I just say, honestly, I'm going to put this out to the universe, right? On whatever gods you believe in, whether it's a singular or multiple, but I swear on all the old gods and the new gods, if Carlton make this many changes, I will never complain about this football club ever again. Because it would genuinely say to me, look, it's been unacceptable. Let's make some fucking changes. And
100%.
I would be Voss train. I'd get a t-shirt. I'd get a face mask.
You still have your David Teague badge somewhere?
I do, yeah. Like you sent me.
I didn't
it's
send
actually
you
in my
that. You
bedroom.
brought it.
So if you go into my bedroom at the minute, there's a picture of me and Zoe when we got married. There's a picture of the kids, and then there's the David Teague. Literally, it's like sat in between of them with like a
Teague
teddy bear
train
that I got
badge.
Zoe on our first ever date, but it's like sat there. So it's a big part of our life, Lekdog. I see it. I see Teague every morning. Right. If Carlton make 3 changes, I'll swim to King Island. Yeah, if they make 5 changes, I'll get a tattoo of David Teague somewhere on my body. Jono. Oh, wait. Yeah, Jono.
Yeah, it's me. Zach Williams.
That's annoying. He's the
Just-
only player I really wanted to pick.
We can go
Lekdog.
taller, Lekdog.
Yeah, we need more height.
This team can be more fucking weird.
No, I'm gonna
Well,
pick,
fucking weird.
Can I just say, my zest... You know what? My zest for football has actually got a bit better. I don't mind that team.
Oh man,
Motlop for me.
we just know that as much fun as we're having here, and as good as this team looks, we just know it's just going to be pitting it out Lewis Young in, don't we?
Yeah, of course.
You know what?
If we were
Nah.
debuting anyone, we would have already known.
Can I just say,
And
look, we always respect our friends. Chincotta, I will save with the last spot.
I'm pretty sure we all picked him as well. He was like one of the only 3 players we all
I'm sure.
selected. So
Well,
he
I
needs to
actually
be in.
didn't pick
I have
him,
to take a
but I'm
photo of
happy
this.
to concede that point.
Well, I
I
mean,
have to take a
chat,
photo of this.
we haven't swung the axe. We've flown over to France. We've gone to the Arc de Triomphe. We knocked on the door and said, have you got one of them bastard guillotines left? And they said, don't worry, we've actually got the one that we took off the head of Marie Antoinette. We've bundled it in. We've got it on a plane. We've flown back. We've taken last year's team sheet. We've thrown it in the guillotine. We've pulled it. We have gone hard. In comes Lockie Cowan, Billy Wilson, Harry O'Farrell, Jordan Boyd, Lucas Camparelli, Ben Camparelli, Flynn Young, Ashton Moyer, Harry Lemmy, and Lewis Young. And out, staggering, is Wheatering.
$8 million of salary.
Injured. TDK. Lekdog doesn't like him. Sard rested. Fogarty, Durden, Doherty, Kerner eliminated. Binns, Carroll, and Akers. What? They are massive changes.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
If there's ever a sign that we've had enough.
Either we've
best
had
we've
enough
ever
or
seen.
we've just fucking lost it.
This one goes in the Hall of Fame, I think. This goes with Ian not making any changes.
Like I always said, we've got to start you've got to play to win until it's mathematically impossible to play finals. I feel like it might not be mathematically impossible, but like I've got more chance of waking up tomorrow morning and Jesus Christ himself has knocked on my door and said, oh, by the way, it's the second coming. Like, then we have of making finals. Like, do you know what I mean? And that would say to me, genuinely, okay, the club now are trying to look out at 2026. Like, they're going to say, let's see if Wilson and Boyd can take Carlton to the next level. Oh, Farrell, can he do that job? Can he do it without Wheatering? And JSOS, can JSOS, more importantly, do it without Jacob? Because we don't know the answer to that as well. It's easy to play with a superstar. Ben and Lucas, can they do it? What an opportunity. Flynn Young, he's on a 6-month deal, which always says to me he's confident he plays and he's ready to play. Ashton, he's had so many chances. He's played in the midfield. Let's do it. And Lemmy, I love it. Like, I genuinely, if I saw that team, you know me, I complain about shit. I get upset. I would genuinely go, okay, win, lose, or draw. You're telling me that you're trying to think about the future.
I said we needed to bring fun back. This is fun.
Well,
like, the club is miserable. Imagine sitting around the selection panel trying to come up with a team. Everything's sad. Everything's miserable. This is fun, boys. Carlton, pay attention.
If we look at our key fundamentals, look, like our key fundamentals were what? Pride, fun, movement, dare, show a bit of fucking fight, enthusiasm, identity, and core basics. So core basics, we don't know by looking at that because they could all just implode and be shithouse. But there is definitely identity there. There is a young Carlton team, which incidentally, there's 2 players by my count that weren't three players, 4 players we haven't drafted. Do you know what I mean? The rest are bought in. So there's an identity, there's a Carlton DNA, 4 or 5 players max that aren't ours. The rest are very recently drafted within 2 or 3 years. Show a bit of fight. Well, I tell you what, if young kids who haven't played the game, who have had to sit on the sidelines and watch the senior players stink it up, there's got to be some fight in there. Movement and
I'm
dare.
seeing 10 goals between Cripps and McGovern in that team.
Well, movement and dare, which is what Nick wanted. Look, all of them players, if anything, are aggressive ball users. They're not safe. Like Ben Lucas, they think defending's for fucking wimps. Do you know what I mean? Boyd, no defensive bone in his body. Wilson, Jesus, man. He just takes the game on. Cowan, Moyer.
So we'll concede a cricket score, but we'll have fun doing it.
Pride and fun. Well, Jesus Christ, what's more fun than making your debut away from home, enemy territory, season dead, everyone is depressed, coming out here and playing with your brothers
Having a
in a
crack.
game where the coach has said to you, you know what, the old cunts we've got here are useless. What are you guys about? Like, there's a bit of pride in there.
Grab your bikes. We're going to Adelaide. Let's go, boys.
Community bike ride. And just like, I just wanted to say, and Peter Cox has alluded to this in the comment, Harry Charlson, you're probably the only player that no one has mentioned tonight. So just a shout out to you. Hope you're having a lovely time.
Harry Charlson's probably watching this and then just looking over at the Irish guys, asking, why's the pitch not a square? And he's like, you're telling me these guys think I'm as bad as an Irish bloke? So if you are watching, Charleston, no offense to you, we have got a lot of halfbacks. Keep doing what you're doing. We needed some experience in the VFL this week. We've got Port Melbourne. You can be captain. Yeah, be captain. How's that? That was my thing. Well, before we go, Ian, Navy Blue Corner, big week. You will be drumming everyone up, making everyone feel better. What have you got planned this week?
Yeah, me and Lockie will be recording tomorrow night, so episode will be out Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Not ideal with a short turnaround, but blame Lockie for living in London. So who knows what we'll talk about, but we'll find a way to, say something about the Blues. That's for sure. Because they're great. That's one might be my best plug of all time.
We'll say something, maybe.
Maybe listen. It could be okay.
I've got to admit, it's been hard work making Carlton content this week. It's been hard. I could not agree more. Mr. Nick, you've been away. You're back.
I've been away.
We've been giving you some really fucking good ads, though, in the last couple of weeks you've been away. We've really sold it. So you're back now.
Tom got his cock out.
Really?
Oh, sorry. That was pre.
That was only for the members.
Yeah.
The members only night, VIP.
Yeah, because I do this show called Members for Members Night. But if the chat head on over,
only Poms.
Yeah, only Poms. If they head on over to Horizon Finance on Instagram, link is in there, and they DM you and they go, "Hey Nick, I saw you on there. You are by far the best looking twat on that show. But I wondered what you can do for me while I'm in your DMs. What would you say?"
100%. End of financial year. There's some good deals being rolled out. If you need a plan and you want to have a look at where your credit score sits and what you might qualify for, give me a call. If you've got a loan that you maybe took out a couple of years ago when rates were really high and you want to revisit it and see if I can free up some cash for you and cash flow, sometimes it's a very sensible move to refinance the existing loan you've got and spread it out over a longer period of time, pay it off early. I'm your man, whatever I can do to help. If you're in the market for a car and you don't know where to start, I work with some of Australia's very best car purchase brokers who don't charge a thing for their services. So, hey man, I'm there. I'm accessible. Use me. Feel free to buzz me. Whatever I can do. My DMs
I also
are always
say
open.
his ads are another level as well. Like they are very entertaining. They're not like,
Thank you.
oh, come here. We'll find a better rate. Like he actually puts a bit of fucking effort into it, which makes you chuckle. So that's the model of the man. The model of the
I
man.
don't want to be a boring banker, mate. I want to be like I want Carlton to be, and have fun, be professional, and just be a little bit different.
Do you know what I mean? I love it. I love it. Do you have? Hey, tell you what we could do, Tim. Let's go around there. Let's go around there with baseball bats. Lekdog, your Twitter is probably my favorite thing in the world because you post your beautiful YouTube and everything else you do. What can we find with Lekdog other than the fact you are like an emotional roller coaster on Twitter?
Alexi_does on Instagram and YouTube. I don't upload to YouTube very often, but I think about doing it a lot. So, that's something. And just like Lekdog on X, and you'll see me posting the articles I write. Although I think I've only got one more one more left. But yeah, just follow me on Twitter. Occasionally I just tweet memes and, that's good.
Yeah, or you tagged me in something to wind me up so you can see that discourse. Jono, my beautiful friend, if people go on the gardening stand, the website I am about to put on the thing, and they enter their email, what kind of stuff can they expect from the gardener stand?
Yeah, well, it's very easy. So if they click on the link that Pom's just dropped in the comments, you enter your email in the call to action box. Every single time that we post something, just like we did today, it will get sent straight to your inbox. So you don't even have to go looking for it on our socials, even though we're on Twitter and Instagram and we post everywhere on Facebook. It will get sent straight to your inbox. You don't even have to go looking for it. You choose whichever type of contribution you want. Plenty of free content, plenty of premium content. We put something up today talking about Graham Wright being Carlton's newest white knight and what might he do and what are the expectations that we should have on him, and be a few other things coming up later in the week. And I suspect it's going to be busier as we move through the last 9-8 weeks of the season and what might come. So sign up, get on board. As we've been recording tonight, we just ticked over 200 some subscribers. So thank you so much to everyone who has jumped on board in our first year and been a part of this community. It's growing and only going from strength to strength. So yeah, get involved. Thank you.
Make sure you do, chat. Make sure you do. This week, what have I got? I've got a video that I'll release sometime tomorrow. The editing has been a nightmare because evidently AFL have decided to cry because I use like 4 seconds of AFL clips in between talking. So I'm trying to work out which one is making them sad. But that video is what happens to teams that are winning the flag on the ladder at round 12. A historical deep dive in, is season over if you're leading when the buys hit? Very interesting results as well. We've got the preview coming up tomorrow. We are live for the Carlton game. Hopefully we get to see that team we've just picked. And I want to give you a shout out, chat. You know what? I was actually at Death's Door before I came on today, and that's given me a little bit of life again. I actually feel like I am ready to face another week. So thank you to you, and the boys as well. Like, if we didn't have a bit of a laugh, I think I might have like full on gone Michael Hutchence later on tonight.
Bloody oath, I was feeling depressed, but thanks, lads. Thanks, chat. Thanks, Pommy. It was awesome.
Hey, well, we'll see you next week, chat. Hopefully on a W. If not, we'll see how we can get Harry Charleston into this team next week.
Let's bring it, go Baggers!
Go Baggers!